Hello everyone, this week's episode is one of the absolute best Twilight Zone episodes ever produced. Many people say it's up there with Time Enough at Last and The Monsters Have Arrived on... What's the name of the street? I disagree. I believe this is the premier Twilight Zone episode ever. It's absolutely my favorite. And there's a bunch to unpack in this episode, of course, being that it is so famous. The intro was used in Disneyland in a ride, the Tower of Terror. But it's also resampled and made into parts of a Michael Jackson song, Ghost, I think it is. Both the intro and the outro have been spliced together to make that particular thing, along with some other stuff from particularly season 1. So this takes place in Peaksville, Ohio. That doesn't exist. There are several Peaksville in the US and one in Hong Kong, but not in Ohio. Then again, we shouldn't suspect there would be, since, he wished it away. This episode features Bill Mumy, of course, who looks so intense in the intro for this episode. He's played in Twilight Zone before, in Long Distance Call, and he'll be back in season 3. This is the longest intro of any Twilight Zone episode because it goes through a sort of introduction to a lot of characters, which is pretty cool, I think. Anthony makes a 3-headed gopher, which we don't get to see, which is a bit of a shame. I would have liked to see what they would have done with that effect. The only real sort of effect in this is the shot of a shadow of a Jack-in-the-Box. And also the sort of face and neck shot of a man with a cone on his head. Along with there's a stop motion dinosaur on the TV, which is nicely made. There's nothing particular about it. So whenever they are indoors and looking outside through windows or doors, it's just painted background because they shot this on just a normal soundstage, indoor soundstage. And this episode, Anthony is essentially a god, right? Jeremy Bixby's story from 1953 pretty much puts him on par with anything like that. He's untouchable. And that's why in 2002, we get to see It's Still a Good Life, still with Bill Mumy, and as the continuation of the story. Yes, Kat appreciates this episode, I guess. And this episode was also in its third draft, I think it was, back in 1974, when Rod Serling was asked about it. He really wanted to do a remake of it, but he didn't get the chance to before his untimely demise in 1975. We do, however, get to see it adapted from this episode in Twilight Zone the movie from 1983, with actual veteran cast. There's actors in that movie and in that episode that have been in old Twilight Zone episodes before, but we'll get to that eventually. This also is the inspiration for It's a Bart's Life from Treehouse of Terror 3 in 1991 Simpson episode, their Halloween episode. Johnny Bravo has one as well. This pops up a little here, a little there, because it is really quite famous. And it is, I think, one of the best episodes out there. The very concept of it is just haunting, and I love it to bits. And just the look of Bill Mumy as he swings in on the gate, or when he wishes someone into the cornfield. This is terror, right? And it's so well played, so well acted that it's a good thing. It's a very good thing that you did that, Anthony. It's a good thing. We're so happy that you did that. Next week we're gonna revisit Nazi Germany, but first we are just fading away because we're getting put into the cornfield for at least a week. Take care now.